In a development that has stunned even the most seasoned political observers, the United Kingdom is witnessing an unprecedented crisis at the very heart of its government. The Supreme Court's recent verdict against Prime Minister Keir Starmer has not only shaken Westminster, but has cast ripples across the entire nation. For the first time in modern history, a sitting British Prime Minister has been legally ordered to step down, thrusting the country into a state of uncertainty, outrage, and anticipation. The Supreme Court's 124-page ruling leaves little room for ambiguity. Meticulously detailing allegations of financial misconduct, deception, and outright breach of public trust, the verdict paints a grim portrait of a leader who has, in the words of Chief Justice Dame Succa, committed a grave ethical failure and overseen a collapse in ministerial integrity. The scandal centers on a £124,000 discrepancy linked to the undervaluation of a family property sale, at first dismissed as a technical oversight, but later exposed by independent auditors as a deliberate move to avoid declaring capital gains. But that was only the beginning. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a tangled web of undisclosed luxury gifts from donors, evidence of offshore accounts in Jersey and the Cayman Islands, and lavish trips billed as research travel. The pattern was clear: concealment, evasion, and a disregard for the rules that underpin the UK's democracy. Starmer's failure to disclose these gains in the official register of parliamentary interests, a violation of parliamentary protocol, was only the tip of the iceberg. The fallout has been nothing short of seismic. Parliament, already fractious from years of political drama, has been plunged into chaos. Ministers scramble to salvage what's left of their reputations, while the opposition seizes the moment with a ferocity unseen in decades. Calls for Starmer's resignation have reached a fever pitch. Conservative MPs demand a vote of no confidence. Reform UK's Nigel Farage, ever the provocateur, has called for an emergency election. Even within Labour's own ranks, shadow ministers are threatening to resign en masse unless Starmer steps aside. If he doesn't go, he'll take the party down with him, warned one cabinet insider. Outside the corridors of power, the mood is electric. Thousands of protesters have gathered outside Westminster, their chants for clean politics echoing across the city. Social media, that modern barometer of public sentiment, has erupted with calls for justice and accountability. Even normally state institutions like the BBC and The Guardian have abandoned their neutrality, issuing blistering editorials demanding Starmer's immediate resignation. Yet, in the eye of a storm, Keir Starmer remains silent. No apology, no resignation, only rumors of frantic strategy sessions behind closed doors and reports of aides preparing last-ditch legal maneuvers. The silence, once interpreted as measured restraint, now fuels a perception of arrogance and cowardice. Meanwhile, the scandal's scope is widening. MI5 and the Cabinet Office have launched investigations into possible foreign influence, with claims that undeclared campaign donations may be linked to international legal consortiums eager to shape UK policy. Intelligence agencies are sifting through years of encrypted communications, hunting for evidence of deeper wrongdoing. If these links are substantiated, the crisis could quickly morph from a domestic embarrassment into a full-blown national security emergency. Polls reflect the public mood. An overwhelming majority, 72%, believe Starmer should resign immediately. Even among Labour loyalists, nearly half have lost faith in their leader. In cities across the UK, from Manchester to Glasgow, passionate demonstrators stage mock trials and demand justice, while opposition leaders Rishi Sunak and Nigel Farage jockey for position, both sensing a once-in-a-generation political opportunity. Labour, meanwhile, is in disarray. Angela Rayner is said to be exploring interim leadership roles. Senior officials leak frantic WhatsApp messages describing a party with no plan, no consensus, no leadership. Even key union allies are publicly demanding accountability. Internationally, the reverberations are unmistakable. The U.S. State Department urges respect for the rule of law. European leaders temporarily pause trade talks. Foreign investors, long reassured by the UK's reputation for stability and transparency, are rattled. Lord David Newberger, former head of the Supreme Court, put it bluntly: there can be no negotiation with the rule of law. A prime minister who defies a lawful order forfeits legitimacy. Never before has a British leader faced such bipartisan condemnation and judicial rebuke. Keir Starmer's future now hangs by a thread. What began as an overlooked £124,000 has snowballed into a constitutional reckoning. The judiciary has spoken. Parliament is splintering. Public trust has collapsed. Britain stands at a crossroads, poised between renewal and deeper crisis. However the saga ends, the nation will not be the same, and the world watches, waiting for the next chapter to unfold.